Why, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your hosting guide, Zollin Ironshield, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a reaction video, okay? So, this is a League of Legends, something I don't do on the channel. I do play this a lot. I've been a player since the very beginning of the game, when it started, back in 2009. But this video is awesome, and I want to watch it with you guys and do a reaction, okay? We're going to watch it, and then I'll talk about it a little after, and see what you guys like. Don't forget to like, subscribe. If you're not, we do Lord of the Rings here mainly, but I thought we'd cover this on my review playlist, right? All right, Zollin's opinion. Here we go. Let's do it.
Tomorrow is a hope, never a promise.
He looks awesome. We'll talk after.
Gripping with my cold hands, the shapes I used to take. I don't like a strong man, but it's easier to push away. 'Cause it could all end here with a strange daylight got in our eyes, and my shadow is stretching out through all the things I left behind. It's in my blood, it's in my veins. Oh, it's in my blood, it's in my veins. Got my heel crushed in the snake. There is nothing you can take. In my blood, it's in my veins. I'm still here. Maybe it's a far stretch that I won't come undone, but I will brave the cold edge to finish up what I've begun. 'Cause it could all end here with the strange daylight caught in our eyes, and my shadow stretching out. Is it all enough this time? I'm still here. Reasons got like
Did Robin Hood.
keep on playing in my mind. All the times I've had to fight, I'm still here.
This is awesome.
It's in my blood, it's in my veins. I'm still here.
Wow. That was awesome. All right, let's break it down. All right, so what is so cool about this? So I'm going to talk about, break it down for people who are my League of Legends fans. which I'm sure some of you, even though you're Lord of the Rings fans, like League of Legends. It's such a huge game. Most people know what it is. It's a strategy game. There are champions, right? These guys that fight in the field. All these characters have a lore and a background. And I'll tell you real quick why they're so cool. I'm going to put a little of my own background music on when we talk. But why this is so cool for me is that League of Legends still has these super amazing animations. I absolutely love how it looks. The top-notch video game animations that I can think of in the last 15 years, there's a couple that have some good ones, but the big two that really stand out with really good music with them and really good cinematics for me is World of Warcraft. They've always been at the top there when they first started, and League of Legends, okay? So they've always been really, really good. Now again, I love our little Lotro animations from the originals, but let's face it, they've never done anything like this kind of animation. This takes an entire part of the business that's dedicated to making videos, right, like this. I know some other ones have good things too. I know Final Fantasy has some good ones. Of course, Halo, right, all those games. And as you know, my channel, even though we focus heavily on Tolkien here, we also like video games. And I'm a big video game player, and I'm that kind of guy who will play with all my friends no matter what the genre is, and I will try it out. I might not spend thousands of hours on a game, but I'll try it out. Now, League of Legends is one that I put about as much time in League of Legends as I put in a Lotro in my life, okay? So, and Lotro, as you know, I've played a long time in. So let's just go through it real quick and see what I'll show you for people who maybe don't know about League or who do know, and some cool little things. So the original characters, most of the things they're showing here are original characters, okay? So this is Tryndamere. I absolutely love how they made Tryndamere. He looks slightly different than some of the original stuff, but he still holds true. And he is like perfect. So he is a warrior king, I believe, from his lore of the Freljord. Okay, so it's basically like the North. All right, so think of him as the very northern kingdom, right? Kind of stuff. And then what happens is then we pop over to him basically being surrounded by enemies. Keep this in mind, Tryndamere has a special ability in the game where it's called Undying Rage, where he'll just go into a rage frenzy and you can't kill his character for like 3 to 5 seconds, depending on, doesn't matter. That's the lore, okay? So keep that in mind. Next clip we go to a different fight with different characters. These are all characters, right? So we see these two angel characters, right? So we have this one with the darker and then the lighter, right, gold. They're both kind of like angel characters. These are original characters too, but like before what they look like in the actual game. Technically the one on the right is Morgana and the one on the left is Kayle. Now Morgana is a very classic name you might remember from other things, fantasies too, but Kayle is on the left, and then they see this thing in the sky and they go and fight this basically like archdemon, right? And this is Atrox. He's got an entire lore. He's super cool too. He's a bad guy. He is basically, there's a little bit of an influence here of like the Ring of Power, okay? Or like Arthas with Frostmourne. That sword he has is like alive, and it's like possessed and controlled him and taken him over and turned into a demon. There's these things in the League of Legends universe where they're like items that once you touch them and start using them, they make you into a monster, okay? So that's kind of, so he's basically a demon because of the sword's a demon kind of thing. So he blocks, stuff like that. They're fighting it out. There's the sword, by the way. There's a huge shot of the sword. It's ridiculous. That's why it looks like it's like breathing, like a heart. It's alive, okay? So then you get, Morgana gets knocked out of the sky first, followed by Kayle, right? And then what we see is here a quick little transform, like this is the battle that they changed. There's a little bit of an anger towards the Morgana and Kayle. They kind of don't like each other anymore because Morgana's like a fallen angel, because as you can see here, they do it really quick, right, for the story, but it's really well done, I thought. She decides she's going to throw off her helmet and start using basically like these evil dark powers, okay, which it kind of restrains him, right, as we saw just now. Her eyes kind of go all evil, and she starts restraining him, which is her character in the game. She's like a fallen angel. She never flies. Her wings are always, she's not flying, that kind of stuff. Where that's why I think you get that look of this really scary, she's kind of gone to the dark side. And then you kind of get Kayle, her sister, kind of giving her the, how could you? Basically, even though obviously they're working together to beat this guy. And then Kayle goes into her form, which in the game she can like go into this big, as she levels up, and she basically goes into super angel powers, right? Archangel style. So anyway, then they kind of, they beat, what's his name? So then they fly into another character, okay? So League of Legends does this. They like to hype the game by doing these cool stories, which I love. Okay, I love this kind of stuff. I love little clips with amazing music and really good animations. I just think it's so much fun, right? I just really appreciate it. That's why I'm doing this review video at all, considering we're a Lord of the Rings channel. So we see some bad guys, don't know who they are. Now they're chasing a lady with her baby, and then this guy walks up in between them, right, when they look like they're going to kill her, which is horrible. And he draws a line in the dirt or the sand, right? And I love that. I think that touch was really good. I don't know if you caught that. I was like, so immediately I thought this was a certain character. I thought it was Jax immediately. But then we find out it's not. Technically, he's Yasuo, okay? So that's a character in the game. He's a swordsman that can use the power of the wind, which some people in-game, as in the mechanic in-game, not the lore, they don't like it because it's super strong, because someone shoots any skill shot, which is a projectile in the game, and he can put up a wall and block it. And it's a little frustrating sometimes. But he's super cool, though. I love his lore. So basically, he's a wanderer, right? Classic, like, Japanese, Chinese wanderer. I'm not sure what he's based on, but he's not based on either of them because technically he's from Ionia, which is like world country in this, okay? All right, so this is a really quick catch-up for anyone who doesn't play League. But then basically he starts fighting with a stick because he's such a good warrior. Starts beating him up. And then he grabs the sword next to him, which looks a lot like his sword, but it might just be a generic sword. And I think he looks awesome, by the way. I think they did a really good job. It's like older version of Yasuo. In the game, he doesn't look quite this old, so it's kind of interesting to me that they kind of made him look older in this clip, right? Because he looks like 15 years, 20 years older than he does in the actual game flash art and stuff. But that's kind of cool. Maybe they're trying to progress his character a little bit. So he grabs the sword, and, you know, they shoot arrows at him, and then he does that cool, cuts the, you know, thing in half. And then here comes the arrows, and he does this little wind wall, and that's what you saw when he did that little, and it like blocked the, it blocked all the stuff. I just think that's so cool. Oh, now it's having troubles keeping up with me. There we go. Yeah, so anyway, that was really cool. And then we go back after basically, he basically in for a big fight because there's a bunch of arrows coming at him. He has an ability where he can throw wind tornadoes. That's what this is. So he's like, I mean, it looks awesome. This animation is freaking awesome. It's so cool. I just love it. So I had to react. And then more arrows are coming in. So now he's going to fight a whole army by himself. He could probably do that. He's insane. Okay. So that's the whole thing is Legends. League of Legends is the fact that all of these characters are legends and they battle on the Summoner's Rift. All right. Okay, everyone. Good. Little refresher there. That's the whole thing. But a lot of arrows coming in. But of course he wins that because he doesn't die. And then we go back to the spot where Tryndamere was, but suddenly it looks a little different than the beginning of the little cinematic here. And everything's dark and like snowy, and like I love the effect of the snowflake hitting the sword and like melting into it. It looks so freaking cool. Especially with the music, it was awesome. I love how they made Tryndamere look. Okay, so anyway, Tryndamere again, he's kind of like a barbarian northern king is kind of his deal going on. Okay. And again, remember what I told you to remember at the beginning. His Undying Rage ability, okay? So now you see he gets up, everything's dark. Where'd all those guys go at the beginning, right? I think this is happening sort of simultaneously in two dimensions. Why I'm saying that is he hears something, turns around, sees this creepy little character, right? With the mask. This is Kindred, all right? So, and I'm trying to remember who the big, scary other demonish dog is. It's her dog. She's a character in League of Legends 2, and her whole deal is she's kind of like, think of like the Grim Reaper, but maybe not quite as evil. She's more like she comes for someone when they're going to die, and they don't want to die or something. She's like, no, you got to die. Basically, like spiritual. So, I think what's happening in this whole part is that he is fighting her almost mentally in his mind. Does that make sense? Okay. So like this is so cool though. So cool. I think he's fighting her like in his mind and she's trying to bring him. He's like, I'm not going to die basically. Right. And then it kind of phases away after he fights Kindred and oh gosh, I can't remember the wolf's name right now. Oh my gosh. Someone leave a comment. Put the name there. I've played the character a bunch. I can't think of, yeah, she always says his name too, but the wolf looks awesome, by the way. So anyway, that's that character though. Again, she's like a spirit creature. So So anyway, he fights them, which was pretty darn cool fight, right? And then you get the double arrows that fly by Kindred, right by her, and his eyes are red. That's the undying rage thing. Okay, he just cannot die when those are red. Basically, that's his thing, his story. I don't know if his sword has any superpowers. I'm not sure. But then you see the cool arrows go by Kindred, right by her neck, and she's like, "What are these?" And it kills. Then suddenly, like, we come back to the reality plane, right, where the two guys get killed behind him, and then you find out. It kind of like, I love that expression too. His expression is freaking awesome right there. Like, dude, that is so well done. Kindred kind of melts away, and instead, this is Ashe appears, okay? Now, they are not connected at all as characters. They're completely separate. Ashe is also like, I forget if she's a princess or a queen of Freljord, but, and I don't know if there's the lore is if they're like king and queen, these two. I don't think so. Maybe that's what they're hinting at. I don't think that's ever been official yet, but I don't know. Maybe it's changed. I haven't kept up the lore that good. But anyway, I love how they made Ashe looks great like the original character, but so much way better done right there than the original animations. It's really good. And then of course he kind of like melts away, you know, his anger rage. And then really cool, really well done here. Like she basically saved him, right? And that's why Kindred melted away, because Kindred's like from the spirit world, right? So kind of think like Avatar: Last Airbender. So Ashe was kind of standing in the similar dimension. So Kindred's like, oh, okay, he's gonna live. I'll go away, basically, because he got saved. And then she uses one of her cool abilities and shoots it out of the air, and blah blah blah. Cool. So anyway, yeah, this is awesome. This was so well done, and I had to do a review on it. If my voice sounds weird to you guys, it's because I am still a little recovering and sick. But I had to make this video because this just came out 24 hours ago, and I had to do a review of this. I got more stuff coming. Basically, I'm just going to start making some more videos for you guys for the next few days. When you're watching this, when the time it's released, that I can just talk and not do any voiceovers right now. Because if you don't know, real quick shout out for anyone brand new watching. I do voiceovers in Lord of the Rings Online and Lord of the Rings lore and guides and a bunch of other Lord of the Rings stuff. So we really like Lord of the Rings here, and we like gaming, okay? So that's kind of what we do. Usually it's more Lord of the Rings games, but you welcome to join us. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not already. Thank you to my Patreons for their support. You guys are the best. Subscribe button's there. Next episode's over there for my opinion playlist, which we're on right now. I got another playlist over there you can check out, and links are down there. Everything else fun. You guys are the best. Stay happy, and I don't know what else to say, but this was a S+ video, and League of Legends still got it, man. Like, sometimes, you know, games go down over time. That's a really good animation. I am very, very impressed. So anyway, I really enjoyed this a lot. I hope you also enjoyed it, and I really loved seeing the characters. I liked that it was a lot of original characters. So pretty much all these characters are original, except for Yasuo. Yasuo's he technically is original. He came in, so over time they add new champions. But when the game first came out, Kayle, Morgana, Tryndamere, Ashe were all in the game. Oh, and Atrox was not yet. Neither was Yasuo. So they were in like season 3 and 4 and 5. Forget exactly where. They add characters like one or two, few characters every year. There's like 150 of them. So I think it was good once they chose. And again, you guys have a great and wonderful day in Middle-earth, and I will see you all in the next episodes of Voice of the Rings. Yeah, it's just, like, there's the Yasuo win wall. Oh, it's so cool. All right, guys. Stay happy, my friends, and I'll see you in the next videos. Cheers! Baruch Hazar Kuzar I Menu.